So for more on this, we want to bring in CBS Sports lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. So, as you know, over the past several years, we've been talking an awful lot about the NFL and whether or not they are prepared for concussions. That has been the focus, right? Was the NFL prepared for this type of medical emergency?
Yeah, first of all, very fair question, and thanks for having me. And obviously, thoughts and prayers, of course, with Damar Hamlin, his family and friends during this trying time. The NFL, this has been a fear of anyone who has watched the NFL, who's been around the league, of someone suffering such a serious accident. I think that we all understand that it's such a physical game that injuries are going to take place. Serious injuries are going to take place, but you always hope that those are broken bones. You always hope that those are injuries that you can come back from. And so this is something that I do believe the NFL, as prepared as one entity can be for something. I mean, when you look at this, they have what they call an emergency action plan, and they go through this emergency action plan at each of their 30 NFL stadiums across the 32 NFL teams. And they have to do it in the preseason where they rehearse. They say, hey, we have a dedicated ambulance here. We have dedicated teams of paramedics, up to and maybe even more than 30 medical professionals at any given NFL regular season game. You have an airway management physician who can show up onto the field if that is necessary. And you're right, we've talked so much about concussions over the years. We've talked a lot about concussions even this year. But this is something that you don't normally talk about, cardiac events in the NFL. But it seems, of course, and we just heard from Damar's uncle, that as soon as this happened, that everyone knew exactly what to do, launched into that plan. And there's a level 1 trauma center that is attached to each NFL stadium. Of course, we saw the reporting outside of the University of Cincinnati hospital there. And so it seems as though the plan, you never want to initiate that sort of plan because you hope you never have to. But when it does happen, like it did on Monday night, it does appear that the NFL, that the Cincinnati Bengals, that everyone involved was prepared.
So that's the emergency action plan. What is next for the NFL in terms of resuming and scheduling games, specifically that game? I mean, because we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about. And, the NFL, in talking with sources throughout the league office and around the league, they were all very quick, especially on Tuesday, to be like, hey, the focus right now is on Damar Hamlin and making sure that that young man gets back to full health in a speedy recovery. And obviously, I share that sentiment. But, the NFL, there are still games that need to be played. And there's week 18. It's the final week of the NFL regular season. And there are a number of playoff implications, though most of the playoff field has been figured out. There's seeding that is needing to be figured out. This game in particular, the Monday night game, was one that was going to go a very long way to determining who would be the top seed in the AFC. And what that means is if you get the top seed in the playoffs, you get a first round bye. You get to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs up until the neutral site game at the Super Bowl. And so the Buffalo Bills could have gotten it. The Cincinnati Bengals could have gotten it. The Kansas City Chiefs could still get it. And so if this game is to not be played, first of all, that would be unprecedented, but it's very difficult right now to imagine that this game will actually take place. The NFL has said, hey, we're not going to resume it this week. But if you just look at the schedule, it's hard to fit this game in. But again, the NFL has said they're not concerned about that right now. They're going to play the week 18 games as scheduled. The Bills will play the Ravens. The Bills will play the Patriots, and the Ravens will face the Bengals. And then they will see what they have to do with this game if it is resumed.
All right. Jonathan, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it.